All right. It is Tuesday evening, time for some Dungeons and Deliberations here on the Master of Dungeons Twitch channel. We've been discussing and creating an adventure off the top of our heads every week. We are doing it here in Roll20 so we can save it. Of course, we could print it out at a later time if we need to. We're walking through the process of what I do in my years of being a DM and all of that, working on how I do adventures, whether it be for preparing an adventure for a homebrew game, for a home game here at your own home, or whether we're preparing an adventure to be written and published eventually. Basically, what we're doing is we're going through each part. The past few weeks have gone through, of course, the adventure background, what happened that leads up to the start of the adventure for the characters, an overview of the adventure itself, basically talking and discussing each part. We want the adventure to usually last around 3 to 4 hours, so we're setting up for kind of 4 hours then. Of course, we have the adventure hooks, what can draw the characters into the adventure. Where you could, of course, as I mentioned many a times before, you could run each character individually through like a small little adventure hook to kind of a session 0 or session 0.1 before you play the first adventure. That way everyone can already know each other. So they're just starting off in a tavern and the players have to figure out a way to introduce themselves and such to avoid that awkwardness that many adventures begin with. Then, of course, we have the call to action, which is the introduction of the quest giver. We did the part one where they traveling to this tower. Then we have part two. They arrive at the tower and have to find a way in. Once they get in, they have to get past the guardian at the entrance. We are designing the adventure up here. We do have it set to for adventure for 3 to 6 first level characters. And of course, when we actually get to, if we decide to write this as a full adventure, we can always put in what's called adjusting the scenes to where if they have a stronger party, you can add some different creatures and such like that. And then we started working on part two, the tower interior, which is going to be the most part of the adventure. So the first part here is they're come into the sitting room area, which is the bottom floor. Again, we're going to have the tower seem as if it's larger on the inside than it is on the outside. It's a wizard's tower, after all. There's going to be obviously more potential for them to discover more rooms, discover more portals, things of that nature in the tower and such. And then for future adventures, if we decided to create any more adventures in the storyline. Um, and of course, we do leave a different um, options for each of the 3 tiers of play, which would be a combat tier, an exploration tier, and then a social tier as well. So we've done that with each one of our encounters so far. Um, we went to the second floor last week. We talked about a sorry, my nose is itching here. Um, we talked about there's going to be a hallway trap that they're going to have to contend with, and there's going to be a door on either side of the hallway. And once they deal with that, one door is going to lead to a small laboratory. In there, we've put a few things in there. Have some Oplex spawns in there as well. And then we're going to have a private study. Now, what we're going to do with a private study is I was thinking of um, having the stairwell. Well, let's go ahead and before we move on to the laboratory here, let's go ahead and put in something of the stairwell. So I just thought about this when I started the stream, is to have the stairwell. We're going to say that the stairwell actually leads up to just a ceiling. Um, So that way, when the characters get up there, they might try to, oh, let's just go ahead and continue on up the stairs to the next floor. But we're going to have that to where the stairwell on the other side literally just stops at the ceiling. It's like the stairs kind of go nowhere. And that what we're going to do is we're going to have something in the study that will allow the characters a chance to open like a small portal in the study. Um, to get to the part C, the final part there of the last third part of the adventure, the Wizard's Chambers, where we'll have Lord's private chambers up there. We'll have like some sort of either projected image or an illusion or some sort of thing, maybe perhaps a simulacrum that might be there waiting and it's been waiting this whole time. Have another viewer, welcome in. So let's say we'll go ahead and describe the private study a little bit. The walls adorned with inset bookshelves. All right, we're going to say that the walls are adorned with inset bookshelves, small pieces of fine art like sculptures, sketches, etc., fill the areas of the walls where there are no bookshelves. Uh, by the fireplace is a cozy reading couch with all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to say that by the fireplace is a cozy reading couch, the book table beside it, upon which rests three candle holders unlit. We'll use those candle holders somehow to, I want to put a note there. 1 minute. Put a little note there. If we're going to write it, of course, later on, or if we're going to have someone else write it as well, we'll have the three candle holders or something. There is. Finally, card desk. Drawers. On the desk are a few books and loose parchments. Let's see here. I don't want to put any. We're not going to put any monsters or anything in this room since we already have had the characters early in the adventure. They've encountered they've had the encounter at the small brook in the Fey Forest. They've had the encounter right at the beginning in the once they get into the tower with the Guardian, which is a suit of animated armor and a flying sword. Um, we've also put the Mephits and the Abyssal Wretches in the fireplace in the sitting room when they first enter in, and of course the Obelix spawns. So this room's going to not have anything in here monster-wise, but I'm thinking maybe we go through and kind of reward the characters for a few things. Um, let's see. There's no drawers, one desk, a few books and loose parchments. Searching the books. That is my familiar. She's awakened. My little cat Callie. We'll go check her out here in a little bit. Um, um, listen, talks. There is a common spell book from Xanathar's Guide to Everything. I think it's an Enduring Spell Book. That's what it's called. Yes, Enduring Spell Book. There we go. Spellbooks, along with anything written on its pages, can't be damaged by fire or immersion in water. In addition, the spellbook doesn't deteriorate with age. So we're going to say, let's make this an enduring spellbook. Um, Now they are for 1D&D, which we'll discuss tomorrow in our tavern talks with the Shifty Boar, of kind of doing away with the term cantrip. And they're going to revert again to a different way of naming stuff and calling them zero level spells. But we're not going to worry about putting any zero level spell. I guess we could put a couple of zero level spells in here. Um, Let's put a light of your level spells. Hmm. Figure out what other spells we want to put in here. We'll put light mage hand. It won't be anything major. Um, so first level spells will go with and let's go ahead and put some second level spells in there as well. Really a couple. Gentle repose. Not. And rope trick. So basically, if the characters, again, we're testing the characters to make sure that they're heroes, because of the fact that the whole purpose is to kind of test their mettle, as it were. which we put in earlier parts of the adventure. So this is going to test their honesty. Basically, if someone tries to take it, or that tries to take any of the art or anything of that nature, when we go to write it, or if whoever's going to write it, we'll have them make sure that everything is very opulent and very wealthy looking, to kind of tempt them into seeing if the characters are honorable characters or not. Which will obviously have we'll put something in the mage's quarters, um, about when they actually speak with like either the programmed illusion or the simulacrum or whatever. Um, we'll basically kind of score them on their performances since they came into the tower and on their way from basically from Westfall, I believe was the name we chose from the city early on. Yeah, Westfall, and so basically they've kind of been in a test since they left Westfall. And then obviously what the wizard wants them to prove that they're heroes, and the wizard is going to bequeath basically the tower to them, and the protection of the village as well. We'll put a scoring system in some other time uh, after writing up the adventure, that will give the characters some sort of score for the players to follow, for the DM to see how well they did, whether or not they're going to get the tower. But we are about a half hour in here real quick. I'm going to take a small little break, take care of my familiar real quick. She's um, starting to lose her eyesight. She's also already completely deaf, so she's probably hungry and stuff. So I'll be right back. Just give me a few moments. Stick around. All right. She's been fed. You might be able to see her now. She's up on her little cat tree. She might jump up in her bed behind me. And she's done. Okay. If anyone tries to take the book or anything else, Booming Ethereal Voice Fills Room says you now have permission to take that, put it back. Further. Make it 100 gold. Can you see her there? She's completely deaf, but she is very loud. She's always looking at feet, wondering where they're moving. All right, small box lined with velvet. Containing 2 vials. And we're going to put some potions in here. What type of potions should we put in here? Let's search our compendium here. What's the rarity on the potion of mind reading? It's rare. Okay, we don't want rare. Want common, maybe uncommon. Well, let's put a potion of climbing too. Now let's go back up. We're not really necessarily editing. We're going to find that a booming voice up here as well. scroll back up here to the top to see if there was, I don't think we left anything in the like treasure wise for them. I'm going to let them have the armor and the sword because that's part of their reward for making it through the encounter with the Tower Guardian. But we're not going to anything else. Will have that booming voice and be able to take things away from the tally sheets. Not necessarily have to do it or working up the specifics of the adventure, but we'll probably give them certain points. Like they'll get more points if they do exploration or if they do social, and if they do combat, resulting to combat, we'll still give them points, but not as much points because they're choosing to just use might every time, and that's the wizard wants to show them that as they grow in power as adventurers, they don't always have to rely on their uh, combat prowess to resolve situations. That true heroes don't always resort to fighting, to violence. At least from the wizard's perspective. um, I can drop those out of there now. Just like the kind of the puzzle to get into the door, to have the door appear to the wizard's tower. Um, and then they also have a key, so we can have it. And finally, so we'll leave. We'll go back up here to the beginning of the adventure when they're going to arrive at the tower. Um, solve each part of the riddle in turn, find a piece of puzzle. All the pieces found in the puzzle box is solved and reveals the key. There we go. And the key. So we'll have them about the room be clues help the characters open a portal. Those chambers above, including cabinet holders, a book, and the study of magic, combination of drawers on the desk. Clues could be on the loose parchments on the desk or the spines of on the spines of some of the books on the shelves. Finally, of course, the key the party discovered in the tower. Once the location of the key was found, it turns one of the inset bookshelves into a shimmering portal that leads to the wizard's chambers. And the portal study transport the party to the private chamber for the wizard. Lore should contain poster bed, changing screen, wash basin, chamber pod, closet. Um, I have like three arched windows that kind of stare out to alien landscapes, like different planes. Like one of them could be like to Oerth from Greyhawk, or to Krynn from Dragonlance, or the Forgotten Realms, wherever other different planes, wherever the adventure is not set. Different material planes, maybe even the planes of Arborea or something like that can be seen, but just to kind of bring in the magic there. Um, let's go ahead and just take a look at Simulacrum real quick. Uh, is obviously we can last until dispelled. So it lasts until it drops to 0 hit points. So in this situation, we are going to have it be a simulacrum of lore. Lore is obviously since past. Um, so let's go ahead and put something in here also. Um, Wizard's construct will later form the party that its creator is passed on to the afterlife, and that this initiated contingencies and protocols that the wizard put in place in the events of his demise. And the wording. Or once the village he'd loved to protect it for decades remained safe, and devise all the tests the party faced to determine if they were worthy enough to take over ownership of the tower and become the protectors of the village, Westfall. We'll see where this one goes. Uh, okay, so what we're going to do is if the party scores high enough on the heroic tally sheet, they are indeed worthy. They are offered to take an oath to defend the village and granted ownership of the tower and everything within. Da-da-da. They have a medium score. The construct says that they can still prove their worth and earn tower through their deeds. And if they have a low score, the parties refuse the tower or entrance into the village of Westfall ever again and instantly teleported to a far distant, desolate land. So basically, it leaves three different options that we can use in the wrap up, basically, to deal with the players. However, um, they performed during all the different tests. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say okay, so what we do with the development wrap up is depending on how the characters do in the tower with the heroic tally tracker. Obviously, if they get the tower, the future adventures will be aiding the town, discovering things about the tower and stuff. By doing so, if they might earn spot as a familiar and animal companion, Darby can stay on to help as well. If they have to prove their worth, they've got a medium score. Future adventures would be to show such how they can prove how they can improve as heroes in order to earn ownership of the tower and the protectorship of the village. Of course, if they're not worthy at all, the distant and desolate lands where they're teleported to could be more dangerous, and their adventures to try to get back to their own homes might even, of course, maybe redeem them. Who knows? It might turn them into great heroes, or they might just be hardy villains when they return. But either way, it kind of gives a development to wrap up for the future adventures that would come after running this one. So this would be the first session for a brand new group, or it's a new campaign. It could be a one shot. If you wanted to do more after it, there's some different development wrap up that could lead you to do different adventures depending on how the players did with their characters in the first one. So let's go ahead and hit save changes. We've got that all finished up. And we will see what's going to happen with it. Maybe we might even put it together ourselves. We're planning on doing eventually a Thursday night live play D&D stream in my campaign world, which this is a map from. So we might even use that as our opening adventure for that series. So we'll see what happens. But it is time to finish up the stream today. I have a client game I have to get ready for here next hour. But we'll be back tomorrow night with some Tavern Talks at the Shifty Board, discussing some of the 1D&D playtest material. We went through 2 or 3 of them already. We're finishing those up while we're still searching for a permanent co-host for the Tavern Talks on Wednesdays. Thursday, we'll be back for our dungeon delving in the afternoons for playing Lord of the Rings Online. You can watch us there if you want. You can join along. We're playing on the Landerval server. If you want to jump on there and watch us as well. We won't be on Friday, as Friday does start the virtual D&D weekend for the month of June. It does coincide with Origins as well, which is taking place in Columbus, Ohio. But I'll be running some games online there. Hopefully, we'll be able to stream my game on Sunday evening that I'm running at 7 p.m. That would be in place of our normal live play game, which we'll pick back up next week with a couple of our new community members playing their characters in the Keys from the Golden Vault Adventures. But that's going to bring us to the end of this today. So thanks to all of our supporters, of course, especially our patrons from Patreon. If you'd like to help support the channel, please consider becoming a patron there, or subbing here on Twitch, twitch.tv/the Master of Dungeons. The link to our Patreon page, as well as all of our social media accounts, can be found here on our Twitch page in the About Us section below. If you would, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, give us some likes, shares, retweets, all that good stuff. Every sub, like, and share definitely helps us out immensely. If you want, you can also join our Master of Dungeons community Discord server down below here on twitch.tv/the Master of Dungeons. You can join up and help shape a caring, inclusive, and accepting community. We do have a merch store up as well. Everything's live there. We do have a Pride shirt up that's going to be up all the time, not just for the month of Pride, as we always like to say, but Pride month's every month, and all of that. So again, thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your week. Hopefully we'll see you. And if not, as always, happy adventuring. Bye.